pizza box.
At 7th grade, I started going to junior high. This was an extremely different experience. I went to Old Rochester Junior High School, and I had no idea what was about to happen. I would have to say this grade was one of my favorite grades of all time when I went to school. This grade was really unique in terms of schools, and I noticed the way the teachers taught was very different. All the classes were taught in a large room called a big room. All the teachers tried to teach each subject matter in a way that was very interesting, helpful to learn, helpful for people that learn in all learning styles. And best of all, the teachers I had were extremely humorous and funny. I always laughed, and I enjoyed school so much that on the weekends, I would look forward to going back to school on Monday. I enjoyed being in school more than I did at home. My math teacher taught math by making it interesting. My math teacher taught math in a way by making it interesting. He explained the math concepts that were not only easy to understand, but in ways that were extremely fun to understand. He also taught math by making us do projects such as building airplanes, helicopters, and even building model rockets. Boy, I was in my home. At the end of the year, we shot model rockets and used basic trigonometry to see how high they went. My social studies teachers made impersonations of different famous people in the past. My English teacher was really funny and told really interesting stories that everybody in the class admired. My science teacher was an old guy that was more like a normal mainstream teacher, and all the other teachers would actually joke around about his boringness. Nobody in the classroom really liked him, but I loved him. I thought he was a really great guy, really nice. I kind of admired his laid-backness. Even though I still didn't take learning very seriously, I still got good grades because the teachers taught things that made it interesting. The reason why I'm saying all this, I'm not bragging or anything, but the reason why I'm saying this is because I think if all schools around the world were taught this way, I think if all schools were taught the way it was like in 7th grade at Old Rochester Junior High School, I think a great deal of more people in this world would be more educated, and I think it would benefit the world more. In that grade, I had my first girlfriend. Her name was Kelly. I saw her in 6th grade, and she was the first girl that I thought was beautiful. She was a kind of... Yes, I did have some temporary crushes in 2nd grade, but I really wasn't attracted to girls at all until I saw this girl in 6th grade. She was kind of a shy person, but I didn't mind it. In fact, I thought I was cute. She also happened to be friends with my best friend Kim, who I always hung out with when I met in 4th grade. I told Kim that I kind of liked her. I told Kim that I liked her. At a school dance in 7th grade, I decided that I would want to ask her out as a girlfriend. I never had a girlfriend before. I decided to ask her to dance. When I did, she got really nervous and shy. I kind of felt like I made a bad decision. Maybe she didn't like me. She was really shy. But Kim told me to dance with her. And she told me that she did want to dance with her, so I danced with her. Later on the dance, I was told that she liked me. So, finally, I had a really good slow dance song, which happened to be one of my favorite songs. A song that I actually pretended to be a soundtrack during the SM Space Force movies that I pretended to cast. I danced with her, and asked her out. And she said yes. At the rest of that dance, I was completely overjoyed. We danced, for the rest of the slow dances at that dance, we danced. And I would have to say that night was probably the best moment I've ever had in my life up to that point. We were boyfriend and girlfriend. For the next 2 months, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. We sat next to each other in every class. I hung out with Kim more. We were best friends and we started hanging out with each other even more. And it was weird because she was, as coincidence, she happened to be my girlfriend's best friend too. So she used to come over when I used to hang out with Kim. We had tons of fun. I always loved hanging out with her. We had pizza. One day, it crossed my mind that I wanted to see if I could French kiss her. I've always wanted to French kiss a girl, and I was curious on what it would feel like, what it would be like. So I told Kim, and she told Kelly. She kind of was, I don't know. But one day, Kim told me that Kelly did kind of wanted to try it. So one day, when we hung out, we French kissed. It was kind of awkward. We kind of looked at each other and finally we kissed. I thought it was awesome. It definitely felt different than I thought, but I was so happy. However, the next day, Kelly dumped me. I guess she was kind of overwhelmed by the fact that I wanted to French kiss her. I think I kind of came on too fast. I was obviously upset when I found out, but I understood that it was normal for relationships to not work out. And I accepted the breakup. I got over it really fast. I know it's normal. People sometimes break up. And I guess understanding that, alright, it was cool. From that point forward, me and Kelly were friends, and I used to hang out. I continued to be awesome friends with Kim, and we hung out, and I hung out with Kelly, and we're good friends since. Toward the end of 2006, towards Christmas, my stepmom and my dad were starting to really get annoyed with my temper. I understood my temper was really a problem. I always got mad. I always got mad since I was a little kid. But ever since I moved in with Dad and Nancy, it was pointed out that it was an issue and I was aware of it. I always tried to control my temper, but it was hard. I never really could do it. This made me feel worse because I felt ashamed. And it kind of made me angry at Dad and Nancy. I always moaned and groaned when I got mad. I often moaned or groaned when I had to do housework or when I got frustrated on the computer. My stepmom would often tell me if I didn't control my temper, she would take me to a foster home. I didn't know if she really meant that. I didn't know if she was really serious about it, but it did it did provide some fear that definitely was a way to motivate me to control my temper, but still I had a hard time. One time I got so mad, I swiped at the Christmas tree and all the ornaments fell. My stepmom was really upset that I did that. She told my dad. When my dad found out, my dad told me that my stepmom didn't want my little sister to mimic the behavior. I often got mad at school too because I hated doing schoolwork. I often felt embarrassed because everyone in the class would see me get mad. I really hated that I had a bad temper. I often felt depressed because I felt like my temper was a curse in my life, and I knew I wouldn't be much happier if I didn't have one. I hoped that I would control my temper,